don't ruin your day or waste your chances by not speaking to people and getting advice and asking for help and getting guidance, So we get down there, we got all our gear on, and I think this is another thing. I think you saw there is still chaos. You can see the people that haven't got it together. I always like to get down there earlier. I always like to get all my shit out the way. And we were like one of the handful of the first lot of people down on the beach.
Yes.
Because
That
people are
was
like, oh,
nice
should we,
because,
shouldn't we, can we, can't we?
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
sure we can. And I walked on the beach, and then you came onto the beach, and then people all look at each other and they're like, hey, let's go stand on the beach. And there's always a couple of guys in the water getting their warm-up swim, all the pros, the
Mm.
guys that have been there, done that, and they want to. But there's all this like nervousness. What should I do? Can I do this? You know what I mean? And there's that buzz, hey, and all the crowds, and it's fresh, and the sun's coming up, and it's just an amazing, amazing atmosphere. But when we stepped on the beach, there's some amazing photos, and we're going to clip them in here somewhere. But you were just pale.
I
And if there
was.
was any
It
time
hit
you were going
me.
to take a dump, it was going to be then, because the nerves really hit you then.
I got quite emotional, and I just it just hit me. I was like, because you know me, I'm not an ocean. I love the ocean, but it was one of my fears. And it just I think it was just the sheer volume of people and spectators, and everywhere I looked, there was like, and people looking so fit and strong, and then my self doubt started coming in. I was like, I was picturing getting out the water and getting onto my bike, and what if I can't get my feet in? And all this stuff starts going through your mind. And what if I this and what if that? There was so many questions of self doubt, and I think I going to such a state that actually I started crying at one stage. And there was a lady on the beach there, must have been her husband or partner. And she came over to me and she gave me a hug and she said to me, she said, I can tell you're nervous. She said, don't be. She said, you've got this. You've done the training. She said, I'm not even racing. She said, but people like you, I'm so inspired. And that just made me so like, wow, like
Yeah,
here I am inspiring other people. So that was
yeah,
quite nice. And I think you gave me a hug and I had a bit of a cry. And then I was fine. Then we walked down to the water and you showed me. I've got a nice photo of us actually. I actually think it made the reels at Busso. You pointing out
yeah,
towards water where I needed to go, and it was just quite a serene moment where it just all calmed me down. And then the
yeah.
chaos began when they like, okay, can you start lining up? And oh yeah, then that was crazy. And then it all just came back
Yeah,
again.
it's so cool to hear you
Oh,
talk from that perspective and to see a little bit of emotion there. That's fantastic, because I
mm,
remember that woman, and she could read you like a book, and you didn't know her from a bar of soap, and she just came over, she gave you a hug, because I remember you were in a bit of a
yeah.
state, and I know you're an emotional girl anyway, and it's the moment. The moment just gets you suddenly get that overwhelm,
Mm,
and you're gonna get it. You're
mm.
going to get that overwhelm. And that's what I want people to know and understand. It's going to happen, but be prepared for it, right? And again, if you've got the right people around you, they will give you the hug and they'll tell you it's going to be okay. And I could see that then. I knew because it's my experience and I'm a coach and that's what I'm trained to do, right? But I knew that was what was happening. And I did. I gave you a hug, and I think we both had
Mm,
a bit of a tearful moment because, it's family and mom and dad looking down
yeah.
from above and all that kind of thing. It's a
Mm,
big emotional moment, and the energy in the whole of Busselton, that the level of vibration from all the people there just raises, it just elevates you. And I just remember
mm,
saying to you, listen, come and I'll show you. This is where you're going to stand. And I still gave you advice as to where to queue up on the 4
yeah.
lines that go in. And I gave you what I thought would be a good line to get in to avoid all the madness and all that kind of stuff. And the minute you started thinking about that, it took your mind off the, am I going to get on the bike? Am I going to fall off? Are my feet going to clip
Yeah.
in? And you focused on the ocean and
Just
what
the
you
one
needed to do.
discipline. Yeah.
Yeah. And I still said to you, I said, look, I know it's overwhelming and you're terrified and everything at the moment. Just hang with the feeling, because as soon as the guy says, go, it's your turn after your 10-second wait in queue, and you trot off down the beach, as soon as you dive in the water and you take those first few strokes, the whole day just opens up.
Mm,
The whole day
mm.
just opens up. It all just goes away. And then you're like, yeah, look at me, baby. And then you're off, right? And
Yeah.
man, it was fantastic. So, you know, that's kind of, that's two perspectives from it. But I guess having done a number of races now, I get to stand on the beach and look at what other people are doing, and I can see the nervous. I enjoy it because I've walked the road, and you've walked that road now. You've been that first timer, right? And when you
Mm-hmm.
go back again now, you'll feel like you've done it 10 times, but you'll observe other people more. And to me,
And
again, that's where the value of having someone who
recognize
knows,
it.
because
Yeah.
they know you recognize it and you go, hey, I know that feeling. And then you can
Shame.
go to that person and say, dude, that was me last year. But I promise you, as soon as your head goes in that water, it just opens up. And then you understand it. You won't understand it until you've been through it, which you have now, right?
Mm.
So I remember you saying to me beforehand, we looked at swimming times, right? And the fear of the swimming and all that kind of stuff. And I
Mm.
still remember you saying, oh, geez, I hope I make it in an hour. I can't remember what the cutoff for the swim time was,
An
but it was
hour
quite
and
a lot.
10 minutes. Yeah.
And you were telling me, oh, I don't think I'll get near 45. The whole year we trained 45, 45. You were going to do 45. I said to you, you'll go under 40,
Mm.
right? And you never for a minute believed me, right? And you never swam hard or fast or whatever. So what time did you swim in the end?
38. I think it came in at
38.
like I've got it's in the back of my medal actually.
Yeah,
38,
that's right.
48.
Yeah. So
38,
you went under
45.
40
Yeah.
for a start.
Yeah.
And in fairness, that was only 4 minutes slower than my swim.
Mm.
And yeah, so me being the coach, I swam a bit of a extra 100 or 200 meters. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
No,
challenging swim.
I had the perfect swim, Rob. You know, well, when you're standing in those lines and you're getting closer, I wanted to sort of keep going backwards, but I couldn't. There were people behind me, and so I kept getting and then next minute I'm gone. And Tim was on the side. He was right at the water, videoing me, and I ran and I smiled at him, and I put my foot in the water. I went, "Oh my God, it's so warm." And I just, because I think
Yeah,
my feet were so cold from nerves that the water just felt, when you're cold and you touch warm water.
yeah,
And then I just got a smile on my face. And then from my excitement, I did a dolphin dive and I thought, shit, I'm going to lose my goggles. But luckily I didn't. And then I went and I had the perfect swim because I was on the outside and I didn't have any interference and no interference at all until on the home stretch. I felt someone coming onto my feet. So I did a little kick and then they came again and I did a hard kick. They never came back. And that was the only interference I had. That was it. I had the perfect swim. And I
yeah,
think I only swam an extra 20 meters. When I looked at my watch, there was an extra 20 meters. So that wasn't too bad. So yeah, no, and I didn't overdo it. I just relaxed, and just wanted to make sure that when I got to the shore that I could actually walk and I wasn't going to be wobbly and jelly like and I was fine. I had energy and I
yeah.
felt good. But that was probably the adrenaline as well still carrying me through.